Now we set ready for our main event, a word from Schneebles, our friend at Team DNP. Goodbye.
Alright, what's up YouTube? This is Schneebles here from Team DNP. I'm going to give you my deck list for my Red Eyes Black Dragon deck. Obviously this is another 60 card build. My deck does revolve around the fusion monsters, which is kind of necessary if you're making red dragons and you want them even slightly competitive. However, my build is going to be clearly a little different. As you can see, I mean, just by being 60 card deck in general, that's already different. I also focus on the rituals and everything, but anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get underway. Blackstone of Legend. That's kind of necessary. It's just, I mean, it's an instant playmaker. So if you have this card, you could summon it, tribute it to special summon a Red Eyes level 7 or lower Red Eyes monster from your deck. Or hand. So it's a really good card to have. Like I said, instant playmaker. Also, if this card is in the graveyard, you can send back another level 7 or 8 Red Eyes monster from your graveyard to add this back to your hand. But you can only use each effect only once per turn. I mean, no, you can only use one effect per turn. So if you tribute it, you can't send it back to your hand that same turn, and you can't, if you add it to your hand, you can't tribute it that same turn. So it's a little, not really risky, but yeah, I mean, and if they kind of eliminate your ability to special summon, it could kind of mess you up. Next, I run 3 Black Metal Dragon. This is your best searching monster in the deck. As you'll notice also, in this deck, most cards are searchable, or they're also searching. So, I think it's about 50% of the cards are draw power or search or discard. You know, Red Eyes, it's a good burn deck. So, with Black Metal Dragon, you can equip this to a Red Eyes monster. It gains 600 attack. But that's not what's most important about it. What's most important is when this card leaves the field. That's it, just leaves the field. So when this card leaves the field, you can add a Red Eyes, any Red Eyes card from your deck to your hand. I only use it for spell or traps though, so I guess that's why I said that. Most of the time, that's what you're going to be wanting to search out, because if the Red Eyes monsters are in the deck, it's okay. Then you run 2 Meteor Dragon Red Eyes Impact, just because so this deck does use a lot of Geminis, as you'll see with the next monsters as well. I only run this at 2 because it's a level 6, it's 1800 attack, 2000 defense. You're not really wanting it on the field, it's more for the fusion, and it is necessary for your main boss monster. But if you can get it, you know, through Red Eyes, the Return of the Red Eyes, or REDMA, if you can bring it back and you can normal summon it and activate its effect, it will protect your Red Eyes monsters, which is a great effect. 3 Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning. So this is your second Gemini. It's also a level 6. It's 2500 and 1200 defense. It's obviously, you know, the Summon Skull stats, and it's basically the Summon Skull. And his Gemini effect is a little bit better when he's, and I mean, obviously they have their situations, and usually you're not using them. You can usually win without it, but if you need to, or there's situations, of course, it's going to happen. You can absolutely normal summon him. When he's normal summoned, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls with defense lower than this monster's attack. So it's like a little Regeki. Sometimes you just gotta blow shit up, right? So then we're gonna go ahead and also we run 3 Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. This is the last of your Gemini monsters, and your key one, you know, because it's Red Eyes and it's, you know, it's the level 7 and you kind of need them. So you need this for almost every play. The best thing about Geminis is that they are normal monsters in the graveyard. This one, whenever damage calculation is performed involving this card, you actually can burn your opponent for 2400 life points. You know, or, well, it's equal to its attack. So actually, if you had an equip card to him, it would be 3000 potentially. So it's a really good card, and like I said, it's a Gemini, so it's normal in the graveyard or on the field. Same with the Red Eyes Archfiend of Lightning and Red Eyes Dragon Impact. So yeah. Next up, we run a triple threat of the original Red Eyes as well. We need some vanillas, just because you are going to be searching, discarding Red Eyes a lot for almost every card. Like, it is a burn deck, you go through it real fast. That's why I like the 60 card build. I rarely brick, so yeah. And we have 2 Summon Skulls. We don't need it at 3, it kind of gets cloggy. Same with the vanilla Red Eyes. If you don't want to do 60 card decks, there's lots of things you could remove. But the Summon Skull I like to keep at 2 just for nostalgia. Sometimes I do go into the Red Eyes, the Black Soul Dragon, so yeah. And then our one of is, of course, the Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. He's kind of necessary for the deck, and he's definitely your easiest boss monster. I don't need to speak about how easy he is to summon and how great his effect is in any kind of a dragon deck, but you special summon him by tributing one dragon monster on the field, then you can activate his effect where you can special summon a dragon monster from your hand or graveyard. So that's pretty cool. So if you're running like Blue Eyes, it's obviously good. If you have Dragon Shrine, you send a monster to grave, so you're filling. But with this deck, you have Red Eyes, so you're going to have Red Eyes in the field. And him, well, he works really well with Return of the Red Eyes and the Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, because if you have all those, I mean, you're bringing out Red Eyes like nothing. It's crazy. So that's the last of those monsters. Then we have our rituals, because I like the ritual build. So I run 3 Paladin of Dark Dragon. He's a 1900 attack, 1200 defense. Obviously, you're not really using him as a beater, but if you needed to and you wanted to go into a rank 4 play, I mean, I guess you could. I just choose not to. You'd have to have 2 of them, so that means you'd have 2 ritual spells, 2 ritual monsters. You have to have 2 monsters to tribute for both, and it gets a little weird. But you could do it if you wanted. But it's really cool because you could just tribute him and special summon a Red Eyes monster from your deck, and I mean, anywhere. So it's really good. And then also, well, no, I'll get to that when I get to the spell card. But yeah, so he's level 4, so it's really easy. It's just 1 monster to tribute, and it's okay to have your Red Eyes in the grave. And Lord of the Red. Lord of the Red, I run. He's a level 8, so you can use him for level 8 plays, and also he's great because of his effect. So with his effect, if a spell or trap card or any monster effect is activated, you can destroy an opponent's monster, or vice versa. If a monster or spell or whatever effect is activated, you can destroy a spell or trap. And you can do both of those in one turn. So, like, let's say someone does something, its effect activates, or it can special summon something else. Then you go ahead and pop one of the back rows. And then they activate a back row card, and when they do that, you can pop one of the monsters. I mean, it's really cool. So, because of that, I like him. He kind of clears the field a little bit, and he's level 8, which is good. He's not the best card, but he's my favorite protection monster in this deck. Anyway, so the most important card in here is the Red Eyes Fusion. Why? Because it's like instantly brings out your boss monster. You activate this, you send the fusion materials for 1 Red Eyes fusion monster to the grave, and you can special summon the fusion monster. That's it. Super easy. You can't special summon anymore that turn, but that doesn't really matter. You have your boss on the field. And then with the boss monster, they both get their effects. One of them, you got burn damage. The other one, you have, it can be affected, and if he's destroyed by battle or damage calculation involved, they get burned for the amount of attack from one of the Red Eyes in the grave. So I mean, you can't really go wrong with having these cards. You're gonna get something done, and of course you can negate it, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyone can negate anything. I don't really plan for that. So then we'll run 3 Red Eyes Insight, one of the better search cards. You just send 1 Red Eyes monster from the deck to the grave, and you can search out any Red Eyes spell or trap card, add it to your hand. So I always search out, if I get this, I'll go ahead and send out one of my Red Eyes monsters, search out Red Eyes Fusion, activate Red Eyes Fusion, send the 2, special summon, send another one. You already have 4 Red Eyes in the grave. You have a spell, you got your boss monster on the field. Typically you'll have something on your back row, so it's pretty good. I mean, yeah, it's pretty good. That's an instant great play. You filled the grave. Alright, we run 3 Inferno Blasts. Just because you never know, someone can have an effect where you just can't attack. You might be afraid to attack because if they get quaking on you, there's nothing you can do. So, also you could go for an FTK or OTK, where if you have 2 of these and you have the boss monster and you special summon the boss monster, send the card to the grave for 1200 life points of damage, then you activate 2 of these. That's an FTK OTK, because you inflict you inflict your opponent's life points the amount of attack of one of your Red Eyes monster, and if it's equipped with, unless it's the original attack, yeah, by the original attack. So even if it's equipped, okay, so it's still so that's 3,500 if it's the main boss, or 3,200 if it's the other 2. That's pretty good. Then we run for the ritual spells, of course, because you need them. 3 Dark Dragon rituals for your Paladin Dark Dragon. It's really good just because. Not only because you get to summon your ritual monster, which is like a mini, searcher, but when this card's in the grave, you can actually remove it from play to search out a Red Eyes spell or trap card. I mean, so that's kind of necessary. I mean, it's awesome. It's another search card. How many of these are searching, you know? Why not run it? 3 Red Eyes Transmigration. There's not really anything it does other than search out. I mean, summon the Lord of Red. Then we have 3 Cards of the Red Stone. So Cards of the Red Stone is a good draw power card. You just discard a level 7 Red Eyes monster and draw 2 cards. That's good. I mean, it's a good draw power. You have 6 level 7 Red Eyes monsters. So then you got 3 pre-prep, just for, it's a +2. Search out, summon instantly. 3 Cup of Ace, because it's my favorite draw card. It doesn't really go well for you all the time. Flip a coin, heads you draw 2, tails your opponent does. So you got to be kind of, really needing it if you want to do it. But hey, it's a +2 if you get it. So why not? 3 Return of the Red Eyes. So this card's great. This is probably, the support for Red Eyes is amazing. Like, I'm surprised that more people don't run it. I mean, obviously it's not meta, and it's definitely not tier 1. It can't compete with some of the best decks, but it is something that you can use, definitely amongst friends, potentially at locals. I wouldn't take it anywhere further. Maybe you could have some kind of build you can run with it, that'd be better, but I mean, it has good support, and I love the archetype. It's one of the original, main character cards, obviously Joey Wheeler, so it's like, why not run it? But this card is great, because if you control a Red Eyes monster, you can special summon a Red Eyes from your graveyard once per turn. During your opponent's turn or your turn. And you can activate it that turn, you actually trigger it. So like if your opponent, you activate your trap, activate it now, special summon. Then if they destroy this card, you can special summon another Red Eyes. So it's great. And then like you get a Red Eyes every turn if you're doing that. And like I said earlier, if you activate Red Eyes Insight, you discard, then you activate Red Eye Fusion, and then you burn 1. You have 4 Red Eyes monsters in the graveyard. You got a lot to work with if you have that going. So it's a good card to run. So now we're going to go ahead and get into our 1-ofs. Full House is good against Pendulums, DDDs, just because, so you select 2 face-up spell trap cards and 3 set spell trap cards and destroy them. So that's great. Why not use that, right? So it's good against Pendulum because that's 2 face-up spell trap cards. And then you get 3 wiped out. Clear the back row. We have 1 Dark Bribe. So when you're, it's a good, it'll cancel out a spell or trap card. So this is kind of necessary. I always end up using it on Regeki. Usually, you got to think about this. You kind of got to play your field. Play like, what's your opponent going to use? What do you have to worry about? What might they be dealing with? What cards do they have? And you kind of got to know your opponent. What do you want to use it on? And then they draw a card, which is kind of negative. But hey, 1 Quaking Mirror Force. It's kind of obvious why I have that. It's for protection. They attack, they're all face down, nothing can really, and it doesn't target, it doesn't destroy, it doesn't send back to hand, it just sets them face down. So most monsters are not immune to that. 1 Twin Twisters for back row removal as well. 1 Return of the Dragon Lords to bring back a Red Eyes as well as to protect whenever you can remove it from play from the graveyard. 1 Regeki, because sometimes you just gotta blow shit up. And 1 Upstart Goblin for a +1. So yeah, very necessary, I think. They gain 1,000 life points, but as you can see, you're inflicting damage all the time, and if they're playing a slow-paced deck and you're able to burn them all the time, you should be okay. So that's enough for our main deck. Little cards. So we have 1 rank 6 Xyz monster, which is number something or other, Dragulus, the Empiric Dragon. So this one's good. I almost never go into him because, the only ones I have are like Summon Skull, the Meteor Impact Dragon, and the Red Eyes Archfiend Lightning. So typically I'm not going to just go into Dragulus. But if I do, it's cool because if he gets destroyed, you can just special summon him in defense mode. So it's a good card to have. We have, now for our rank 7s, we have Gaia Dragon the Thunder Charger. Good because you can overlay a rank 6 card into him, and he inflicts piercing battle damage to defense position monsters. And he's level rank 7 as well, so you could actually just do 2 7s, but I like to do 2 6s just to be weird. We have 2 Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragons. Great card, just because, you can bring back a Red Eyes from grave, or special summon, from hand. So it's like, that's good. Also, whenever an effect card is activated, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent, which is kind of necessary, and it's really important, especially today. People are activating effects all the time, so you can start just burning them, and then eventually they're like, oh man, you inflicted already 4,000. Like, ooh, it happens. We have one Divine Dragon Knight Felground, so these are our rank 8s. This card is obviously like clearly one of the best rank 8 cards in my opinion. He's not great attack 2800, but I mean he protects himself or he can protect anything on the field. Their effects are negated, but they're unaffected by other, so why not use them? Then we have number 22 Zombie Stein. Not really the best card, but he's a great beater, 4500 attack. So once per turn, you can detach one EXC's monster and send one card from your hand to the graveyard to target one face-up card your opponent controls. Change that card to defense position, and if you do, negate that face-up card's effects. So yeah, good card. I mean, you can use this against there's a bunch of monsters I could think of. I mean, I never use him, but he's a beater and he does that. So yeah, I'm pretty glad I have him. Then we have Hieratic Sun Dragon, Overlord of Heliopolis. Also just to kind of pop things off. It's kind of like a Lord of the Reg, but better because of his attack. Then we go ahead and get into our main boss monsters. Oh, that's wrong. Alright, so yeah. You have 3 Archfiend Black Skull Dragon. I like the ultimate rare version of him. He looks awesome. So with this card, I mean, he's probably overlooked a little too much. Everyone likes to go into the new fusion from Invasion of Vengeance, or newer. But he's honestly my favorite because you attack, your opponent cannot activate effects, so it's kind of like Utopia Lightning. And then if that damage calculation is performed involving him, that means if they attack you and you get hurt, he attacks them, blah blah blah. You can select or target a Red Eyes monster from your graveyard, send it back to your deck, and inflict damage equal to that monster's attack to your opponent. So boom, burn again. It's a great way to win. I beat a few times. I beat a few decks like that. All right, so then we have 3 Meteor Black Comet Dragon. So this one also. Oh, the great thing also I forgot to say about the Red Eyes Fusion card is that when you fusion any of these monsters, they are actually named Red Eyes from then on. Because Red Eyes isn't in their title, they become Red Eyes Black Dragon by name. So when this card's summoned, you can send one Red Eyes monster from your deck to the grave, inflict damage to your opponent's life points equal to half of that monster's attack. That's pretty OP. Then, if this monster is destroyed, you can special summon one Red Eyes monster. So if you got this paired with Red Eyes, Return of the Red Eyes, and you have Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon on the field, and you have Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon on the field, you can see where this there's constant it's like Medusa's head, or they're always coming back. And then for nostalgia's sake, we have Black Skull Dragon. Nothing really to be said about that, but I mean I go into him every now and then just because it's kind of fun to do. If I know I'm gonna lose, or I don't want to scoop. I just want to give my opponent something to oh, that's cool. It's fun to do. Or also, if I'm doing well, or I'm just going against a deck that's not really on par with this, I like to use it. And, it's a fun card, and he's great. And he was actually the first rare or ultra rare card I pulled. So yeah. Anyway, I hope y'all like this video. Please check out more of our channel. Subscribe, comment, like, share, give us a thumbs up, and as always, man, this is your buddy Schneebles checking out. Yeah,